Greetings. I am Elias, and I'm asked to be given a tarot review for Goddess Elite. First deck I will be reviewing is the Sacred Circle Tarot. It's by Anna Franklin. I'm going to admit off the top that I have a bias for this particular deck, as it is my primary deck and the one that I have been using for over 20 years, almost 25. The deck, in and of itself, is in large part based off the Rider Waite, as most decks are. And I find that the imagery is very much in depth and informative in that way. It's just, I consider it to be quite beautiful and easily understood in those areas where it does cross over. It does have some odd cards, I suppose you would say, the web. Many of these do have their correlations in the standard deck, but I don't make those immediate correlations because the cards themselves do have much deeper understandings for me. And for the shaman is that guidance and insight that you get, that you know something, but you don't know how you know it, because the shaman has been guiding and providing information. And then, of course, one of my favorites here is the web, which discusses all of the immediate connections of everything, connected to everything. The cards are very much explanative and in-depth, almost three-dimensional in their imagery. In many cases, it is a combination of artistic photography and CGI, as well as regular pen and ink artistry, all combined and layered. Again, very beautiful. Two of the things that I find very, very interesting about this deck. First, I suppose I should tell you that there is a con to this deck. It only comes in one size, and it is a large deck. I've become rather proficient at shuffling and handling them, but sometimes for a client, it could be an interesting affair to wrap their hands around it. And I have looked for smaller decks for client ease, but it only comes in the one size. So that is something to consider when you're playing with them or looking for a deck. But in particular, besides the depth of imagery and the way it speaks to me, the particular thing that I find very interesting and beneficial with this deck, we all understand that cups have emotion and discs pertain to the physical and the material. But depending on your school of thought, swords may be mind or they may be will, while fire is its opposite. One of the interesting things that I found in this deck, that while they set out and start out as being mind and will, they understand that there is a corollary between the actions of thought and direction and moving. And in this particular deck, there are periods of overlap where you can see the swords are on fire. And in this particular one, we are talking about conflict. This is largely inner conflict, is the way it usually comes up in readings for me. But you can see how the desire is causing interference with the thought, or how what you want versus how you see things can cause either strife or success. And these are one of the reasons why, these are some of the reasons why I find this particular deck to be particularly beneficial. What have we? Oh, I just spun that upside down. Thought maybe it was trying to tell me something. But that's why I find that the Sacred Circle Tarot is very much a pleasant and informative deck. It speaks to me well. And you may find through this imagery that it may speak to you as well. May your days be bright. Thank you.